To the new iridium plug. I had the tyres and inner tubes fitted, and I'll no longer be running that. So I couldn't help myself, guys. So they do need a little bit more work. My 70cc cylinder kit. The CDI is fitted, guys. This is the original. You can see that the size of the new CDI is just over a couple of sizes bigger than the original. But I found this spot for it. I've tried the side panel, and none of the wires or the CDI fouls the side panel. So I'm confident that that's going to be as secure as it needs to be. So I'm happy with that. An update on the long nose. I've spent easily a couple of hours, if not more, on this. And I've just used some filler. And it's all lovely and smooth and consistent. Really happy with the outcome of this. And with a little bit of paint, I don't think you'll ever know that that's two individual pieces. So all I have to do now to complete all the bodywork is flat down this filler. It's just where I've caught the plastic a little bit, taken off the sticker. But that is all of the bodywork complete. So I can now get all of these in primer. And yeah, the body will be complete. Okay, so I've been away for a couple of hours. I've come back to the unit and found that Chris has fitted my 70cc cylinder kit. So let me show you what he's done. So here we go. There is the new Molossi cylinder head fitted. He's also fitted the new iridium plug, which I've purchased. And for those of you that would like to know which one I've gone for, BR8HIX. That is the one I was recommended to go for this setup. Here is the original cylinder head. And piston. And what I'll do, Chris kindly took plenty of photos whilst he was doing the fitting. So I'll just post the photos up here for you guys to have a look through. And you can quite clearly see the differences between the two. And it's actually quite a significant difference, in my opinion. A lot larger than what I was expecting, to be honest. But yeah, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate that. So fingers crossed, we gain just a little bit more using this with all our other modifications that were still yet to fit. The carburetor has now been ordered. That's going to come with the torsion spring cap, almost like an anti-friction cap. Once that arrives, I can then fit that, get the clutch rebuilt, and yeah, we can get that on the bike with the variator kit. Okay guys, so a random purchase, and this is like an ice box which you'd have on top of a bar. Now what's perfect is that the logos are from the early 80s, which is exactly what I'm looking to do for the scooter. Now when I saw this, I instantly thought, from the sizes it was given, that it would fit the original luggage rack that comes with a scooter. So my idea is to produce like a little 7-Up sponsored drinks bike, like a delivery bike. And I just thought this as like a rear box, if I can find some way of attaching it, would go so well with the design that I'm going for this scooter. So what a random little purchase, but I'm so glad it came up. And looking at it, I think it will work so well for this build. And it does. It fits. So I'm now going to have to restore this rack as best I can and paint that up. And somehow find a way of attaching this box onto the rack. But that shouldn't be a problem. I've got a couple ideas. But this works so well. I'm so chuffed with this. And we have this one. So this is my cork helmet. This is the design of helmet, which goes with the guys who ride these scooters in Japan. And I found this one on WeBike. Really padded, really well padded inside. I love this colour. So yeah, I had to get this to go with the whole idea of the scooter. And not expensive at all. I think this was only about £30 or £35. So yeah, I'm chuffed for that. So a quick update on these panels. So they are currently in some filler primer. I wait for this to dry, I flat it back, I check for any evidence of the cracks. And then I go from there, whether it needs a little skim of filler or just a little bit more filler primer. But that's what I'm doing. This one was the one that had the big repair of the fiberglass, had the really large crack going up the side of it. And I'm really happy to see that there's absolutely no evidence of that crack once existing. So I'm really chuffed with that repair. So they do need a little bit more work. They'll probably need some spotting filler, just where there's some slight imperfections, which there will be. I'm still yet to properly prep this one, to be fair. You can see there the paintwork's still shiny where I haven't scotched it. And also, I'm yet to remove these two stickers here, but that will literally take a few minutes. Same with this front panel. This one I finished yesterday, so it's dry. And I don't know if you guys can remember, there was some severe scuffs where the bike had been dropped all the way down this side. And after a few hours work, I'm happy to say that once again, any evidence of any damage is now gone. So these are coming out really nice, and I'm so happy. Now what I'm really happy about is this front mudguard. So if you remember, on this side here, there was a really large crack. If you can just pick up, I've painted it now, but if you could just pick up there, you can see the fiberglass repair. And also there where there was a split here. Absolutely no evidence whatsoever. Now what I'm really happy about is I had to reshape this front part here. This bit here was completely flat where it had been scuffed, and just using a little bit of filler I've managed to reshape it to match, and I'm really happy with that. And this has become an extremely clean front mudguard. So this is now ready for some grey primer and then the base coat, and I can do the same with this front panel, finish off the prep with these two, get these all primered, and we can get painting the base colour. Long nose, which I have, or thought, that was done. I wasn't really quite happy with a few bits and pieces. You can just see there, if it will pick up, the evidence of where the hole was for the mirror. Just got to use a little bit of spot and filler just to skim that over. and there was a little bit of evidence of filler just here where I've sanded it down. So that's not a problem, I can go over that. Just a really light coat, that's all it requires. But I had to fiberglass this bit. So where I had to shape these two to look like it was one piece, it was just splitting where the long nose is attached in the filler. So what I've decided to do was put one sheet of fiberglass matting just so it's strong. So what I have to do now is flat this back, put some a light coat of filler on it, give it another couple of coats of the filler primer, and hopefully it will then be unrecognisable and it will be strong. So I might get on with that now actually. So one side has been sanded as smooth as I can get it in preparation for some more filler. So that's how it looks now. Just to do this side here. Just applied the filler. Just got to wait for that to dry, which shouldn't take too long. Doesn't look exactly very pretty, but it will soon take shape with a little bit of sanding. So all done, guys. Looks a lot better now it's got shape. And with the fiberglass, this should be absolutely solid. So let's get some primer on it. Okay guys, so I've just got back with these. I had the tyres and inner tubes fitted. I've just fitted these as well. So these are some retro 80s style dust caps, the classic dice, and I managed to get them in the correct green for the 7-Up livery of the era. So that's a cool little detail. But they look great, I must admit. I'm really happy with the outcome of these wheels. So I couldn't help myself, guys. I had to test fit the exhaust. Doesn't that just look crazy? I love it. I love all this burnt effect where it's been welded. It just looks so cool. But there are a few issues, which I was expecting. So this is only fitted loosely. I'm yet to fit the gasket. It might make a difference, it might not, I don't know. But this is without. It fits really nice. It does foul ever so slightly, just on the fan cover. But also, that is miles off. So I have noticed on a couple of the guys' scooters that they've made like an additional bracket to bolt onto here to there. It must just be quite a common thing where they kind of roughly weld them into place, but they're not exact. I don't know if this will also fit a DJ1R scooter, because I know a lot of the guys, just like Benny, runs a DJ1R exhaust on his Honda Vision or Tact, just as this. But it's not a problem. I can either modify this ever so slightly, or I'll just simply make a little bracket out of some stainless and get it to fit exactly where I want it. But yeah, that just looks crazy, I love it. Okay guys, so I've just removed the original damper where we modified it with the bushes, and I'll no longer be running that because I have managed to find this. Now this is a 230mm length shock absorber. As you can see, it's exactly the same length as this in its lower position, but at least with this I have some compression. You can adjust the compression here. This was just a random find, and I emailed the guy and he confirmed that it's a 12mm hole and a 1-inch yoke, which is exactly what we needed. So at least I've got this for the rear. It would be great if I can find a set of these which are 180 or 190mm, so then we can use these on the front instead of using the skateboard bushes. But yeah, let's get this fitted. No fouling, so perfect. That'll be ready for when we refit the engine, and I could fit that. So yeah, that's a good find. So the luggage rack has returned from blasting, and it is absolutely mint. All of the corrosion that was just on here was all just surface. The metal is absolutely perfect, so I'll get this straight into some etch primer. I'm getting very close. So what I'm doing is I'm just bending it by hand. I think it's this bit here. And if I can let it drop ever so slightly lower here, it will then drop here. And that will locate perfectly. So yeah, because this is stainless, you don't really want to heat it up. So I'm just trying to bend it by hand. And worst case scenario, I've bought some sand, because I know there's an old trick where if you fill the exhaust with sand, it will hold its shape, but you should still be able to form it. So that's the last attempt. But I'm getting there. It's a lot closer than what it was. Success. We did it. She's on the cylinder head. She clears everything. You can now see a gap, and it's bolted on, and that is rigid. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave it like that for quite a while, because the engine's not ready to go back in yet, and what I'm hoping is it will sort of pull the metal into that shape. So I'm going to leave it, but I'm chuffed, because when I first fitted it, it was miles off, but I think I didn't quite have it underneath this this fan cover properly, and it was hitting here, which means it was bringing this out, and that's why it looks so far out, because you have quite a lot of pivot on the cylinder head. But I'm really happy with that. It just looks incredible. Such a cool exhaust for a little scooter. Okay guys, so with that, I'm going to leave it here for now, but thank you so much for watching as always, and I really hope to catch you in the next one.